What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are we? Coming at you for a get ready with me. I feel like I haven't done a get ready with me in years, mostly because I haven't gotten ready. This is basically what I look like all day, every day. You guys know I'm not a big makeup gal. You know, I kind of wish I was, but like I just never had a sister to really show me the ropes. And now I use fake eyelashes, like eyelash extensions, where you can't really put much makeup on, but I'm gonna dabble. I'm gonna dibble dabble. Mostly it's gonna be a lot of skincare, cause your girl's obsessed with that, okay? Thought it'd be fun to just kind of sit down, get ready with me, fix this hair. I call this the grandma claw clip. But I wanted to also address, I asked you guys a bunch of like, ask me juicy questions on Instagram. And let me tell you, they're juicy, okay? So that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to YouTube channel, and let's get started. First things first is I love, it's called Sugar, and it is my favorite chapstick in the world. I always wear chapstick, especially like first thing in the morning. I don't know, I'm weird, I put chapstick on, so this is our little lip primer. Next up is I have vitamin C, so it's basically like a face brightening serum. I personally love it because I feel like it honestly brightens my skin and gets rid of like dark blemishes that I've had a lot of like acne recently right here. So I just feel like it helps me overall. So I just kind of pop this on in the morning and rub-a-dub-dub. So should we get into the first question? She comes in swinging. How do you deal with insecurities? Love you, love you. Insecurities, dude, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Every human has insecurities, even someone that's like, who do I look at? Jennifer Aniston, she's a queen. Jennifer Gardner, she's a queen. I just think they're stunning, and I'm sure they all have insecurities. We all deal with insecurities, trust me. And how I deal with it is a lot of self-talk, affirmations. I'm not kidding you. I went to the beach today and did like 10 minutes of yoga. Like I do yoga beginner on YouTube, and I ended it with just like telling myself like, I am strong, I am healthy, I am beautiful, your body is fantastic, you're capable of so many things, like you will be successful. I literally was chanting that out loud, and people probably thought I was a crazy human, but you know what? They're like, she's a motivated crazy human. I almost like problem solve and like, how can I look at it in a positive way? Or if I don't like something, like how can I change it? Whatever it may be. And I'm not saying you have to change your body or change who you are, but for me, I like to problem solve, if that makes any sense. So if it's like an insecurity with, you know, my legs, I'm like, how can I change that thought process? Like, I'm strong, I'm able to lift heavy weights with my legs, I can tone them, like things like that, I guess kind of help rewire my brain. So now the vitamin C is nice and glowy. We're gonna let that dry because she gets a little sticky. And then this is my favorite sunscreen. I use this like 3 times a day, I'm not even kidding you. It's like dermatologist approved. Basically, Michael went to his dermatologist and he told us to get this, and I'm obsessed. It does not ship to me, so I literally had my sister-in-law bring it in her suitcase when she came to visit me. I am obsessed. So I'll wait like a minute and then I'll place that on. How to avoid camel toe in yoga pants. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, bro. My camel toe cannot be avoided. I have a vagina, okay? Don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube. It drives me nuts when men make comments that your camel toe is sticking out, whatever it is. Like, I cannot help that. I'm not gonna put a panty liner down there. Honestly, I am a female, and I strongly believe we should not feel apologetic or uncomfortable that that's like how my yoga pants are. Of course, yeah, I don't like it like shoved up. It's gonna be a veggie. But I don't know, that doesn't embarrass me, and I guess I embrace it because I am a female, and like I've tried to hide it before. It's not comfortable. So I know you said how to avoid it. I know people use like panty liners. I know I use like double underwear. So what I mean by that is a lot of people don't wear underwear to the gym. Like they'll just wear their yoga pants, and I don't do that. I always have like seamless underwear from Victoria's Secret. Gymshark has some, and that honestly does help a little bit. So it's not just like, if that makes sense. Do things feel super competitive with other influencers? Honestly, I feel like there's always a form of like comparison, and if there is an influencer that is like, no, like I don't ever compare myself, they're probably freaking lying, because it's human and we do compare ourselves, and you know, we can choose to take the higher road, we can choose to support women or men, whatever it may be. I personally don't think it's competitive. I just think there's a lot of comparison, if that makes sense. I'll see somebody that's just like crushing it with their workouts, or maybe their body's really transformed and I'm happy for them, but I'm also almost feeling like a little bit down about myself, or like, why is my page not doing that well? But it's always a me problem. I can improve my content, whatever it is. I think it more motivates me. So yeah, I would say overall, wouldn't say competitive, more just like comparison. And I've talked to a lot of influencers that like do struggle with that. There is space for all of us, and everyone brings something to the table. Everyone has something unique about them. You don't have to be anyone else but yourself. And I promise you, if you are yourself, you will be successful. Next question that kind of like slides into that is, you said, how did I become a Gymshark athlete? Changed my personal account to my fitness account about 4 years ago. And within a year, it just like skyrocketed. Like, I was posting my workouts. I used to post a lot of my workouts back then. Then I used a lot of hashtags. I just worked really hard to stay connected in this community, because I felt like I was a weirdo for liking fitness. So like making my fitness page kind of helped. So within a year, I truly went from like 500 people to 150,000 people, and Gymshark had reached out a little bit under a year and said, hey, let's collaborate, let's work on a campaign together. And really what that means is we kind of are testing the waters. They're seeing like, hey, how does your audience like you associated with us? Are you driving traffic to us? Things like that. So we worked together for a couple months, just like, you know, a test run, a little datey date. And then they popped the question, and this had been like right when COVID had hit. So I became an athlete during COVID, which was kind of a bummer, because I used to do a lot of events. Like, we lift this city, and I really look forward to events, and I honestly hope that they can have some soon. But that's kind of how I got into it. Was I just started posting wearing their outfits. They noticed me, they reached out to me, and I was, most importantly, just myself. I mean, a lot of people have made comments to me being like, all these Gymshark athletes are these heavy lifters, or all they do is post their workout routines, and like, you're more lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. That is what made me unique. That's what they liked about me. And I remember at first I would think about it. I would talk to my manager and almost compare myself with that. And they would say, we picked you, Sav, because you're you. And you don't need to be anyone else. You don't have to follow this guideline. You don't have to follow this cookie cutter thing that sometimes people think you have to do as an influencer. What's just unique is you can be yourself. There's a lot of people like that. One of the gals that I like respect the most is Sarah's Day. I just think she has always like kind of done her own form of exercise, her own form of training, and has just always really stuck true to herself with like her eating and things like that. And I look up to that. Moral of that story is, if you want to be a Gymshark athlete, you totally can, and you just need to be yourself. Don't try to be all these other influencers. Don't try to replicate their athletes. Like, they're all unique for a reason, and you're unique and beautiful and bold, and just post, be yourself, provide quality content for your audience, content that you would want to see when you're first starting your fitness journey, and I promise you it'll pay off. Ooh, next question, home gym in the new house. Michael and I have talked about making our own gym in this house, and I think we might build it in our backyard, and I'm very excited. So once we officially get this house, we will start on that, and it's honestly gonna be a saver because equipment's expensive. Building a gym is expensive, so it's definitely gonna be a investment and a work in progress for a while. Okay, next up, I could probably be doing this backwards. I really don't care. I'm not that picky when it comes to my skincare, but I've been using, it's the Clinique All About Eyes. It reduces circles and just kind of depuffs you, and it's like this nice little smooth cream. Michael's mom works for a makeup company, and so she always gets us these samples, and I love them. And she knows I'm not a makeup girl, so she always sends me like chapstick and face lotions and all the skincare. But she did tell me that right here is very, very thin skin, and it's like tissue. Like, if you're rubbing on tissue, it's gonna break. So she tells me to always blot, because it's just a very sensitive part of your face. Next question is, when are you and Michael going to have babies? Honestly, I have no idea. If you asked me 3 years ago if we would have children, it would be a hard no. Now that I'm getting older, I'm still like, nah. I'm undecided. I don't know. And I think that's okay. I don't need to know. I definitely don't have baby fever. One of my best friends has such big baby fever that like she's probably gonna be pregnant, very pregnant at my wedding as a bridesmaid, and that is a-okay. I support her wanting the babies, and I will love her babies, but I just don't know if it's something I want. I do think we may down the road, maybe in like 10 years, have a child if that's something we want. I could see Michael being a really good dad and I would want a baby with him. But I just I don't know. There's something about having to have the baby that really intimidates and freaks me out, if that makes sense. So to be decided, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like women are pressured to have to like pop babies out once they get married, whatever it may be. I've always gotten comments about that, and I'm just living my life. I'm honestly very selfish right now. I'm working on my own business, so is Michael, and we travel a lot. Ooh, some questions about Kelty and I's podcast. You guys said, what is a podcast gonna be about? So I'm not gonna give away too much, but it's called Hitting the Bars. Hitting the bars or hitting the bars? Huh? I'll give you a hint. We are very like balanced chicks. We aren't really like intense in any way, and I feel like we used to be. Both her and I were very intense with fitness, and then we kind of lightened up and we realized there's so much more to life. I like to still get drinks, I like to have fun, I like to eat junk food sometimes, and really this podcast is for those kinds of ladies. And sometimes I feel like the fitness community doesn't like address when you have drinks, or there'd be TikTok trends of like you going out and having a party with your friends, and then all of a sudden like your mindset has changed and you only work out at the gym. You guys all know that TikTok that I'm talking about. There is nothing wrong if you want to do both. My bachelorette party's coming up, you bet it's gonna be litty, okay? So I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you know, everything in moderation, and do prioritize your body, but I think we just want to highlight that if those girls do like to have wine with their friends, do like to have ice cream, do like all that kind of stuff, we can have a balanced lifestyle and still work out, look great, feel great. And that is kind of the gist of that podcast, and I won't give away too much, but I'm very excited. Another question said, will you and Kelty talk about your breast augmentation, since you share different experiences? If you guys don't know, Kelty is getting her breast implants removed. She's had them for about 10 years, and I got mine in over a year ago. So yes, we actually did film a podcast on this, and I'm so excited. It's just interesting to like have different takes on it. Her and I have very different reasons why we got them, different experiences, and I just personally wish I had people that were a bit more transparent about the process when I was getting my breast augmentation done. So I think it'll be really helpful. Will you rent out the new house when you travel? Michael and I have thought about this, like making it an Airbnb, and I don't think so. I think we just want something to like be our own and call our own. The house we're renting right now is basically an Airbnb. It's fully furnished, and it just like doesn't have my smell, it doesn't have my furniture, it doesn't feel like home. So we really just like want a solid home, if that makes sense. Next up is I'm brushing out these lashes. They're very sparse because we went swimming like all last week with Michael's family. So like this one is way more sparse than this one. But nice thing about lashes is you wash them daily, and you can get like special soap to wash them. You do have repercussions as they start to fall out. I'm pretty sure my fill is tomorrow. So I just brush them out, and I decided I am going to put a little shadow on. And the only like product that I really use, Tarte Pro Glow. It is my favorite highlighter. I asked for it like couple Christmases ago from my mom because she had it, and I was obsessed. Whenever I would visit her, I would steal her highlighter. I have this big old brush, and honestly, I am not someone that puts primer on. Eyelash extensions, you can't use any oil base. So if I do have any eyeshadow, I just kind of brush it on, and you could probably use a primer spray. I just don't have one because I don't wear makeup often. How do you deal with your bestie not liking your significant other? That is tough, okay? Also, I think I'm gonna use strobe. It's like very pinky. I would honestly talk to your bestie and find out why. And also keep in mind, they may not like know your relationship like you do, you know? They may only see a certain part of it. So I think it is important to, of course, listen to them because they are trying to look out for, you know, your best interest, but it could be miscommunication. It could be they may not know your significant other that well. I don't know. I don't even know if that's good advice. I feel like that's a tough one because of course if it's toxic they should tell you. But sometimes there's always like two sides to every story, and if anything I've ever learned is you don't know anyone else's relationship and you don't have a right to judge anyone else's relationship. So that's definitely tough. I would just sit down with them and talk to them and kind of like see their reason, because I'm sure they're just looking out for you, but also just understanding like why don't you like them? What is it about? What was the roughest part of your fitness journey and how did you get past it? Roughest part of my fitness journey was the growth, I think, because you're probably like, what do you mean by that? I was not a very confident person, like ever. I was very insecure with myself. I was always quiet. I don't know, I just like didn't think I didn't see my worth, and that's really sad to say. I feel like I just always kept quiet, and what I'm trying to get across is as my fitness journey continued, as I started posting on my page, people started being like, you have a voice, oh my gosh, who are you, whatever it may be. I think that made me really uncomfortable, and it still makes me uncomfortable because I can be very private with my life, but really the growth was just like becoming confident and knowing my worth and knowing I'm capable of things and finishing things. Like I'd never finished something before my fitness journey. And not that I finished my fitness journey, but I'd never gotten so far to see my body change. I always just thought it couldn't be me and I'd quit and give up. So I think that was the hardest part, was finding my worth. And like, I don't know if that's cringy to say, but that's honestly how I feel, is I did not have a lot of it when I grew up, and now I feel like a completely different person than who I used to be, and even different from back to college. Like I just found my voice, I found who I am and love what I do, and we love that. We love that, okay? So we also love a dual highlighter. So if you see, I put some light shadow on. Who knows if you can really tell. I just highlight the 4 main things I've watched on YouTube. Who knows if that's true. I'm gonna go a little bronzier because I've been in the sun lately. So I always do the nose, the forehead, but I tell you, this is eyeshadow, it is highlighter, and we love that for us. And who cares if I just have sparkles everywhere? I know I do, and I don't care. I like sparkles. It makes me feel pretty. So now I'm looking at it, this is a lot of sparkles actually. Usually what I do is I'll try and like get the highlighter off, and then I'll just kind of like brush it away so it's not so intense. My roommate in college taught me those 4 things. I came to her and was like, Hannah, I don't know how to put makeup on, please show me. And she showed me bronzer, blush, and highlighter. And I don't do blush or bronzer, but I kept with the highlighter. But it does bug me, like my chin is very, very dewy now. Pros staying sober. Do you drink socially? Do you partake in marijuana? Do you have fun sober? So I do drink socially, and my family, we all are social drinkers. And I don't partake in marijuana. It's just not my thing. If anything, it gives me anxiety. I tried it back in college and was like, that's a hard pass. And yes, I have fun sober. Michael and I don't drink on the weekdays. We'll have like, you know, some drinks on the weekends. But I feel like the older I get, the less I like feeling hungover. So next, I have never lined my lips, but I found it and we're gonna try. We're gonna try it today, okay? I don't know how to do it. I just feel like I see Kylie Jenner do this. It is a little tough when you put, yeah, I don't know, I think that might be a pass for me. It does kind of make you look plumpy. I think I may need like a darker shade. What even is this? Clinique from Michael's mother. So my friend Julia got me something called Tower 28. It is one of my favorite lip glosses, and she said it's like all natural. She's a very big organic gal, so for my birthday she got me this. Guys, I recommend. Ready for this? That was a lot. That was a lot. Has like a natural shade to it, but isn't it pretty? Just like a nice dewy, I'm also hot up here, so I'm sweating a little bit. Next up is we're gonna take care of this hair. Dry shampoo, Batiste. We love her. Always. I just feel like it gives me a little more fluff. I'm like not a gal that likes to curl her hair. My hair is like thin but thick at the same time, and so if you guys have the hair, you understand. So like it's always just tangled, even though it's thin, but then it's thick. So I don't like to curl it because it only just gets really tangly. Do you wax down there? No, I do laser hair removal, and it's the best thing I could have ever done for myself, okay? So I bought this and I'm obsessed. Shea Moisturizer Leave-In treatment, and it's basically a defrizzer and detangler. And usually people put it when their hair's wet. No, brah. I put it when my hair's dry because I just always have tangly hair. And I swear, like couple spritz, 1, it smells amazing, but 2, it's like butter as you can brush your hair. Butter. Next question is, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? I feel like I've answered this and it's different every time. Oh my gosh, I think I know what it'd be. It's this Brad Paisley song. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher it. But basically Brad Paisley says, he wrote a letter to, he's like, if I could write a letter to me. And he's like basically talking like that, talking about his younger self. I used to love Brad Paisley growing up. I still do, but I haven't listened to his music in years. And it's basically saying like, don't worry, like this isn't your best years of your life. Like there's so much more in your adult life. Strongly would have talked to myself about that because my childhood, I felt a little trapped. Like I was stuck in some situations and I couldn't get out of it. And like, I've always wanted to create my own life. I always wanted to move away. I wanted to move to California. I wanted to work for myself. And I just think sometimes I would feel stuck. And then everyone would talk about like college being the best years of their life. You know, you always hear people talk about that. That was like my nightmare because I didn't love college that much. Like, yeah, it was fun. You didn't really have responsibilities, but I had a lot of heartbreak during that with like friendships. There was a lot of friends that I like realized weren't like treating me right and like making me feel bad about myself and kind of using me. And I just think you learn a lot about yourself in college. And of course, like I met Michael there and I'm so fortunate to have gone to the college I went to. I don't regret going there, but I didn't love it. Like it wasn't the college I wanted to go to. I couldn't afford doing out of state to California. So I stuck with this college because I got a certain scholarship. And I'm thankful for that. But I think my fear was like, oh no, was this the best years of my life? So I think I would tell my younger self, listen to Brad Paisley's song, Letter to Me. Is that even what it's called? I don't know. Brad Paisley people will know. And like, it's not the best years of your life. High school, college, that's not your best years. Of course, I loved high school because I got to live with my parents and spend time with them, and I got to see all my best friends. But like, life is so much cooler when you're an adult. You get to choose where you want to live. You get to choose your work path. And I don't know, it feels like Disneyland, if that makes sense. That would be what I would tell myself is hold out. I promise you it'll pay off. You won't be stuck in this small town forever. And you can truly be whoever the heck you want to be. And also, everything happens for a reason, and all those heartbreaks and all those tough times and those traumatic experiences I went through makes you a boss-ass bitch when you're older. Guys, it's like a blowout almost, not really, but brushed her out and the hair is done. We're gonna answer one more question and we're gonna wrap it up. This is how I get ready, and I, yes, am wearing a full-blown pink sweatsuit, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, okay? Last question is, was Michael a big push into getting out of your comfort zone and becoming an influencer? Actually, yes. Huge influence on being an influencer. But he was probably one of the few that like actually supported my interest and realized like, hey, you love fitness, like why don't you share this with people? Like he saw the value before I even did in myself with that, and he knew I used to be really insecure and really quiet, and once he got to know me, introverted, extrovert, he was like, you have so much to bring to the table. Like, he just like never made fun of me when I would post. I know a lot of like peers would make comments or just think it was weird that I was posting things online because it is an odd job, especially when you're first starting out. People doubt you. He always supported me. He was there to film for me always. We would film on the weekends, all my workouts. He would tell me like, hey, these are ways you could improve. Like he was literally my biggest fan with that. And he still is, like literally so creepy. He always creeps on my page. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't have that support sometimes in a relationship due to like the spouse being insecure. And I've talked to women that are like, how is he so okay with you posting X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, because there's trust and security and confidence, and I don't know, find a man like that, because no one has time for an insecure man that can't let you follow your dreams because they're afraid of you like getting swooped up or whatever it may be, okay? You should be able to be independent, but also in a relationship at the same time, if that makes any sense. So I hope you guys liked this sit down, get ready with me. It was really fun to just kind of chat and put a little sparkle on. I know it's like very simple, but that's who I am, is I like the nude makeup. I like the simple makeup. I would love to get more into makeup, so one day I'm gonna go to Sephora and just shop till I drop. But I hope you like this. Please comment down below if you have any additional questions. Let me know if you like these. I can make more of them. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will see you next time.